question of the day is, do you need a UAD Apollo interface? Now, the obvious answer is no, you already have your basic needs. But I'm gonna tell you why you might want this interface over any other picks that you already got in mind. Now, before I explain anything, first and foremost, if you already have an interface, especially one in this price range, keep using it, especially if you don't plan on getting a new one anyways. And number two, I'm not sponsored by Universal Audio, but I do love their products. Now, a little while ago, I made a video about UAD Spark plugins and UAD native plugins. So I would say the first reason that I would say you would probably want this interface is because of the plugins. Usually when you purchase a UAD interface, it will come with plugins. These are perpetual licenses, meaning that you own these plugins forever. And since you own these plugins, you could also use the native version at no additional cost. So some of my favorites include the Silver LA2A, the 1176, and the API channel strip. On top of that, I personally use AutoTune through UAD. Now, follow me for a second. I'm a Pro Tools user, and I use the low latency monitoring option through Pro Tools. So that means I monitor through my UAD. Typically, I wouldn't do this with any other interface, but UAD allows me to use Antares AutoTune through their UAD console app. You may think it's one extra step during the recording process, but honestly, it makes my life a lot easier because you can always monitor the artist even when you don't have Pro Tools open. And those monitored vocals are going to be the same vocals that they hear throughout the recording process anyways. Now, I'm sure you've heard of UAD's Unison PreAmps, which they're pretty known for. But if you haven't, in layman's terms, they're emulation preamps that allow you to record straight through them to get the vocal that you want. So in a nutshell, it saves you a little bit of processing on the way in. Now, of course, you actually have to be using a UAD unit to use these preamps. But once you record that vocal, it's already printed and you already have the color that you wanted. One of my favorite features about these interfaces is the Talkback feature. Now, you might not find this too useful if you record in the same room as the actual computer itself. But if you have a separate room for your vocals to be recorded, you will use this 10 times over. The Talkback button is right on the interface. It dials in right to the headphone mix, and you don't have to worry about any communications being lost. Once you enable the Talkback button, it automatically dims the volume by a set amount that you could choose, and then you're able to talk to the artist. When you're done talking, just simply click it again, and they're back to hearing what they want to hear. Hopefully, you're what they wanted to hear too. And to piggyback off that, the routing on a UAD unit is so easy to use, especially when you use Pro Tools. Headphone mixes work seamlessly, especially when you're just recording vocals. In my process, I make sure that the mix bus in Pro Tools is routed to the control room as well as the booth separately. So I can turn down the mix of the song while the artist records live, so I can hear the artist's live vocals and not the whole mix. This helps out a lot when they're recording ad-libs and I can't tell if they're saying something to me live or if they already said it in the recording. So overall, between the Talkback, the easy routing, the Unison preamps, and the actual plugins, are you going to get a UAD unit? Obviously, I know you don't need one, but I'm pretty sure you probably want one now. If you plan on picking one up, link is right there below the like button. And if you like this type of content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and we'll get to another video. Watch these two videos if you're still not sure about a UAD unit. See you in the next one.